Yo, what is up, my friends? It's your boy Steve from Straight Fire Picks. We're back with your best bets for the NBA here for you today on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. We got your NBA player props, spreads, totals, predictions as always. We got the sweep yesterday. Let's run it back again here today.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire. All my bets straight from. You're in the house that Cap made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're excited to get there, guys. We just crossed 9,200. So another 800 subscribers will be at 10,000. So let's lock in, guys. Hit that subscribe for me. Share the video. Like the video. Comment on the video. I need all the help I can get, guys. Hype the video. You can hype the video now on YouTube. So, yeah, do those things if you guys don't mind. Appreciate you. All right, let's first start with a recap, though, from yesterday, guys. We ended up getting the 3-0 sweep, baby. We absolutely love to see it. Yeah, I brought out Broom Wanda. I don't know what her name is. But we did get the sweep yesterday, guys. 3-0 plus 3.23 units. We love to see it. Had some good plus value in there as well. James Harden, our number one pick, under 2.5 threes, finishes with 1. Pretty sweat-free there. Milwaukee Bucks money line, down 12 at the half. They make a great run there in the third quarter, led by the guy I talked about, Ryan Rollins, guys. Ryan Rollins, remember the name. He ended up playing great last night and delivering for Milwaukee. Obviously, Giannis played great too. Big win there for the Bucks. And then Alex Sarr, over 23.5 PRAs, about as sweat-free as it gets. He cashes in the first half with time to spare. He had easily 40-plus PRAs last night. He was fantastic for the Wizards, who should have won that game, by the way, but they folded there down the stretch. But Alex Sarr, appreciate you for giving us some money. So, yeah, we did cash that parlay. Well, I didn't put the parlay out in the channel, so obviously I'm not going to count it towards our units or anything. I did play the parlay. I usually do every time. I put a tenth of a unit on that, but you guys can always take the parlay. You don't need my permission to take it. I didn't post it yesterday, so I'm not going to obviously add it to our units. But just keep in mind, you guys can always take that parlay if you want. Sometimes it's just a matter of time and graphics why I don't post it, so just keep that in mind. As far as our comic cappers go, comic cappers also had a pretty good day as well. Mateo Velasquez calling Con Canuple over 2.5 threes. That cashes. Lit Picks calling Jalen Brunson over 3.5 rebounds. And a Shohei Ohtani walk, which was obviously free. So those cashed there for Lit Picks. And then Tevin Harden calling the Vegas Golden Knights money line. They cashed there as well. We love to see it, guys. Great calls there from our comic cappers. Fantastic job in the chat. Make sure you guys don't forget to drop your favorite pick today in the chat. If your pick hits in the chat, well, put a star or an asterisk next to your pick, so I know you want it included in our comic capper section. But either way, drop your favorite pick below. If you want it included in our comic capper section, put a star or an asterisk next to your pick. And if your pick does hit down in the chat, we'll include it in our next video. We'll give you a shout out. It's a great way to help the community and participate here at the channel as well. Couple quick things. We're going to have our NFL spreads and totals video coming out at noon today. So make sure you guys look for that. Really excited about that. We went 11-2 on totals last week. And we went 7-6 on spreads. So make sure you guys check out that video. Put a lot of time into that. It's a lot of fun there, obviously. And then last thing, make sure you guys also check out the pinned comment description down below. Membership, merchandise, social media links, all down below in the pinned comment description. Membership, just $3.99 here at the channel for the entire month. Get access to all these picks and plays early, a couple hours in advance of the video. And we're also going to be starting up Straight Fire MVP exclusive pick of the day relatively soon. I've mentioned that. Probably not starting it today because I actually have in mind to start a ladder challenge today. So make sure you guys also are looking for that later. That'll be a short video release. We're going to call it the Straight Fire Ladder Challenge. It's going to be fire themed. It's going to be fun, guys. I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, though, guys, let's get right into the picks. At number 1, we're going Duncan Robinson. Under 2.5 threes here for the Detroit Pistons. We got minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. So really like the spot for D-Rob to go under. He's under in 3 or 4 games so far this season. Under in 6 of his last 8 games versus the Orlando Magic. So obviously love that. You guys know the Magic are a great defensive team. Have been for a long time now. So just overall, I love teams that play good defense. We saw it last night with the Warriors holding the Clippers to 79 points. One of the reasons why I like Harden to go under there was, the Warriors overall are a pretty tough defensive team, especially with Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry, Draymond Green all on the floor. They're tough. So this is another spot where the Magic are tough defensively, and I think they can hold D-Rob here under. They rank 8th in threes allowed to shooting guards so far this season. Magic 2nd in defending the wing top of the key three, which is where most of D-Rob's threes come from. He typically doesn't shoot a lot of them from the corners there. A lot of them are going to come, top of the key range. So obviously, I like that spot there though for D-Rob to go under. Hopefully, obviously, it stays that way. Detroit also, looking at the Pistons, they have plenty of other options, other than Duncan Robinson, which is really why I like this. I think about Duncan Robinson's role in this offense. So far, averaging just 10.9% usage in this offense, which isn't crazy. So he doesn't get a lot of shot volume. Like I said, just a 6.3 3-point attempts per game. That's fairly low for a line like this. That means he's got to shoot 50% to hit the over, which I never really, not that a guy can't shoot 50% from three, but 50% is well above the league average. Typically that doesn't happen. Making threes in the NBA isn't like the easiest thing in the world to do. So I think here, especially against a good defensive team. Like I said, plenty of other options with Kate Cunningham, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, et cetera. They got other options they can go to. Duncan doesn't have to shoot a ton of threes. And everybody knows he's a decent three-point shooter. So it's not like, the Magic are going to want to leave him open. I think just consistently him going over, I just don't see it. I love his under, guys. So love it there, guys. For our number one pick, we're going Duncan Robinson under 2.5 threes here for the Detroit Pistons. Minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. Okay, and number two, we got the Utah Jazz plus 2.5 here on the spread versus the Portland Trailblazers. Minus 112 odds on FanDuel. Should note right away that Jazz are playing this game at home, which is terrific. I love the home spot here for the Jazz. Two teams with kind of identical starts to the season in a lot of ways. If you look at their ATS marks, their defense and offensive ratings, they're very similar. Kind of both off to somewhat surprising starts, I guess you could say. The Jazz are off to a 2-1 start and a 3-0 so far this season against the spread with a plus 12.5 differential. So they've been a great spread team so far to open the season. And like I said, I love them in this home spot where they're, a slight home dog, kind of like what we took with the Bucks yesterday. I think this Jazz team might surprise you. I like their core with Lauri Markkanen, Keontae George, Walker Kessler. I really like those guys, and I think they're gonna continue to propel this team forward. I don't know how good of a year Utah is gonna have. I mean, I'm not gonna put them in the playoffs, but I gotta say, they look pretty solid so far. They're fun to watch, especially at home. They're a lot of fun to watch. On the other side for the Blazers, despite the turmoil with Chauncey Billups and stuff, they are actually 4-0 against the spread. I kind of talked about this last week. How the Miami Heat came out, and Miami Heat, I believe, were 4-0 against the spread too, now that I mention it. So maybe, I don't know how this has had a positive impact on these teams, but it is kind of crazy. Blazers and the Heat both 4-0 against the spread. But Blazers 4-0 ATS with a plus 8.8 differential. They're tough as well. Like I said, big edge goes to the home team here. If all things are equal and you got the home team, Utah's a tough place to play. And obviously, I like the Jazz there in that particular spot. Last year, between these two teams, the Jazz went 4-0 to the spread mark, the plus 2.5 versus the Blazers. They won 2 straight up. They lost 2 games by 2 points apiece, which is kind of wild how that worked out. So initially, I was going to take the Utah Jazz money line. Then I was looking into that, thinking, well, man, if they lost, but I'd hate for that to happen and to miss out on the spread when we could have got it. I mean, it's still cashed. A cash is a cash. Obviously, it shows you how competitive those games were. Most of those games were close. With the edge and the big margin of victory going to the Jazz. Jazz did have a big margin of victory, and one of those, the Blazers obviously did not. Won by 2 in the ones that they won. So, obviously, I like seeing that. The Jazz so far 5th in offensive rating. The Blazers are 13th in offensive rating. Jazz 14th in defensive rating. Blazers 5th in defensive rating. That's what I'm talking about. Very similar, just on opposite sides as far as defense and offense there. Gonna go with the home team though. Like I said, I think this is a great spot for the Jazz. They're playing well to open the season. Give me the Utah Jazz plus 2.5 on the spread. Minus 112 odds here on FanDuel for a 2-pick. Number 3. We are going Emmanuel Quickley. Over 25.5 PRAs here for the Toronto Raptors. We got minus 115 odds on Fanatics. So I think this is a great classic buy low spot here on Emmanuel Quickley. Sometimes you got to look at guys that haven't been cashing their lines, but maybe there's something there because you might get some line value. And I think that's exactly what we're getting here on Quickley. His line has obviously dropped to 25.5 because he hasn't been hitting it. He's under in 3 of 4, but let's take a look. He's had 25, 25, and 24 in his 3 misses. So he's right there every game. He's right there every game. And I think this particular matchup versus the Rockets in a game that, the spread's set to 6, so it should be modestly close. I think the Raptors can hang around here at home. The only thing I'd be concerned about is if they were to get blown out, but I think they can hang around a bit here at home. And I think their best matchup is Quickley. Rockets ranked 20th in PRAs allowed the point guards, but points in the paint allowed the point guards and ranked 30th. Now, part of that has to do with SGA. But part of that just has to do with, like I said, I think it is the best spot in the floor to attack, against Reed Shepherd. I think that is the spot in the floor where you can attack him quickly. He's definitely faster than him. He should be able to beat him off the dribble and get to that, nice little 10-foot or so floater that he can do. Quickley is very efficient in scoring inside the paint. 43% of his volume comes inside of 10 feet. And he shoots 66.7% from inside of 10 feet. Now, inside the paint, he shoots 52%. So, basically, when he gets closer to the basket, he shoots very well and efficient. He's at his best when he's attacking. That's really where the weakness is for the Rockets. So, I think that's where he's going to be able to attack. Like I said, he has gone under in 3 or 4, but with the lowest output being 24, I think this is a great spot for him to fly over the number. If you look at his history versus the Rockets, he's 3 for his last 3 versus the Rockets to this line with an average of 31.3 PRAs per game. So I love seeing that, honestly. I think this is a great spot for him to kind of get going. And his rebound and assist lines are fairly low as well. So I like having those in there. Obviously, we got to focus on the scoring the most when you take a PRA line, but really think he's got a good shot today. So love it there for number 3 pick. We got Emmanuel Quickley over 25.5 PRAs here for the Toronto Raptors. Minus 115 odds on Fanatics. Okay, and finally at number 4, we're going Jaden McDaniels. Over 23.5 PRAs here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We got minus 106 odds here on FanDuel. The biggest thing that stands out in this one is no Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves. Where this dude went 3 for 3 without Anthony Edwards in the lineup last season, and so far he's 1 for 1 this season. And that was a 39 PRA average per game last year without Anthony Edwards in the lineup last year in the regular season. So obviously love seeing that. I don't think the books set this line anywhere near high enough. I think it should be in the higher 20s, to be honest with you. I think there's a good chance he goes for 30 plus PRAs today. And a matchup with the Lakers where, Lakers are so defensively, right? They don't really do it for me defensively. They just gave up to 122 points to the Blazers the other day. They give up a lot of points overall, in terms of, versus the Kings too, even in that big win that they had. So this defense really is obviously very beatable. We got Jay McDaniels averaging over 35 minutes per game over the last 2 games, so I love seeing that. His usage bumped up to 24% last game. That was a season high thus far. Why is that? Anthony Edwards is not on the floor, so it makes a lot of sense. And he had 29 PRAs in that game there versus the Nuggets, which we love seeing that. 3 of 4 starting small forwards have hit their overs versus the Lakers. Guess the one that didn't. Jay McDaniels is actually the one that didn't. He had 12. But I think that was obviously with Anthony Edwards in the lineup, and I wouldn't trust McDaniels to go over probably with Edwards in the lineup unless he showed me consistency. But without Edwards in the lineup, they have to go to McDaniels. There has to be some usage here for him. Same with Julius Randle. I looked at Randle as well, but I really thought McDaniels' line was a lot more tantalizing here. I think he's, like I said, I think this is a great spot for him here. I think he's going to fly over the number here. So love it there for number 4 pick. We got Jay McDaniels over 23.5 PRAs here for the Minnesota Timberwolves, minus 106 odds here on FanDuel. And then for the Sweep Parlay, valued at plus 1123 odds on Fanatics. Love to see it, guys. 10th of a unit. We didn't put it out yesterday, but we are putting it out today. 10th of a unit to make over a unit here. Just to get us a little more juice here, to wet the whistle a little more. You know what I mean? We love to see it, guys. So, yeah, super excited for the NBA today, guys. Yesterday was a nice boost, right? I got our first NBA sweep of the season. We survived the first week. We're plus units after the first week. I'm very happy with that. The first week is always tough. First couple weeks are really kind of tough. Once you get, after the first couple of weeks and you have more data, things get a little easier, and you can see the reads a little better. But I feel good about everything today. I feel good about, now I think we're at a good place. We do have a little bit of data. We kind of know what's going on a little bit here. We have some trends. We have some different things we can look at. So I definitely love that. I love the way that, honestly, we've opened the season. Overall, it wasn't bad. 18 out of 32 picks in the first week or so is not bad. Obviously, I always shoot for higher, but like I said, hopefully from here forward now we can get on a really nice run. So as always, I appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget to check out our NFL videos as well. It's coming up at noon Eastern time. Outside of that, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.